Rabotai, we are on page 280. 280. Number one, is it allowed to prepare milk from milk powder? Person wants to mix milk with milk powder on Shabbat. Allowed or no? David John?
Yes.
What do you say? Mutar or no? Says Ravadia, it is allowed to prepare milk from milk powder on Shabbat without shinui, the usual method, as the purpose of the mixture is simply to dissolve the powder, not to create a thickened substance. Remember we said that continuation of the laws of lash, which means kneading, one of the 39 laws. Levi, sit like this, I can see our friend also behind you. One of the laws of lash on Shabbat, we're not allowed to kneading. What is kneading definition? We said you're taking a powder, you're adding a liquid and mixing it on Shabbat, and you're making it a paste. Making a paste from dry components with liquid, David John, it will be violation of kneading on Shabbat. Kneading on Shabbat, munkines. Not allowed to.
But that's more solid.
Huh? However, says Ravadia, if you make milk from milk powder, it's not going to be a paste. It's going to be liquid. So if it is the end result, it's not paste. Levi, guess what? Allowed. So not any dry components, particles, substance with liquid will end up in violation of lash, of kneading. Kneading means kneading, that you're making a paste together. But if you're making a drink together, not considered to be kneading. Got it? One time, I'll give you a practical case that happened in my house. One time, I had a guest, Shabbat, learns in yeshiva, and he learned, but didn't learn maybe well. I don't know what happened to him. And somebody was making, you have the tomato sauce, how do you say, tamat, how do you say it, yeah, the crushed tomato. So he sees that somebody in the kitchen was adding to it different type of things. Different, I don't know, additives, whatever you call it, spices, whatever it is. I say, hey, lash. Kneading. You're taking a dry powder, you're adding those spices into the tamat, into the crushed tomato sauce.
It's already
lash.
It's already paste.
I told him, Johnny Halfish, what is the end result of this tomato crush? Is it paste or is it liquidy? It depends. If they're making it very, very thick to the point it's going to become a paste, then he's right. But since he's not making it that way, the end result is going to be liquid. His comment was not in the right place. Huh?
Even if it was a paste first. Even if it's a...
That's another leniency that we learned, that if you have already paste, there is no paste after paste. No cooking after cooking, no paste after paste. There was already once paste, there is no more pasting applied to that.
Just a quick question about rishul. So if it's liquid and you put it on plata. Soup on a plata, not allowed on Shabbat. Not to become yad sola debut. Just warm, not hot. Warm is okay?
No. Chazal are afraid, unless your plata is meant just to make warm. When you say the word plata is a very vague term.
Having it like a metal plate on top of the flame.
So if you're putting it in a way that no matter how many hours you're going to leave it over there, it's going to remain just warm, not scalding hot, you're good. But if you are saying, no, Rabbi, it can get to scalding hot, I'm just going to watch it. I'm going to remove it before it's going to become scalding hot. That's a problem. Unless it's for sick person or child or stuff like that, Chazal allow. Because we are afraid, the Tosfot says, we are afraid that you're going to leave it over there, get sidetracked, and forget, and it got cooked.
What about a stew?
Got it?
What about a stew? It's thicker.
So we learned last week, Jonathan, you were here, no? Last week. We learned that if it's something that it is pourable continuously, it's considered to be liquid. If it is something that whenever you tilt it, it can't poke like by pieces, it's considered to be solid. Even though it moves in your cup, in your bowl, right? It's moving around. It's not like a dry rice. But halacha says that if it is going by chunks out from the vessel, it's considered to be as a solid, and you will be allowed to reheat it.
What if it's half-half?
Half-half depends on the majorities. Like if you have a fish with some sauce, right? Some people love the sauce very much. They dip the bread inside, kaifuyut. This is their oneg Shabbat. So reheating such a thing on Shabbat will be allowed because the majority of it is dry. Okay, back to us. Although I'm in the middle of one answer, although the mixture may initially form lumps and have a thick consistency, it is not suitable for consumption in that state, since the intention is to produce a drinkable liquid. It is allowed. It is
coffee allowed?
allowed. So, you see, based on your question right now, I have also something to say about the coffee. It is allowed. Last week we said, what if a person wants to mix his sugar with some milk? Some people like to do that in order to form foam. When he's gonna pour the hot water, it's gonna become foamy on top.
And then you're gonna cook the milk, no?
So let's say it's gonna make klishlishi or whatever, klishani, whatever the reason is. Some allow also to cook to do that because already cooked. There's no cooking after cooking if you're doing it in the irui. Let's put that aside, the cooking issue. Let's say it's make klishani, make life easy. So that will solve all the cooking problem. What about lash? When you take the sugar with the coffee and a little bit of that milk and you're mixing, breaking it together, you are making a paste.
No, it's a foam. Foam is still liquid.
At that moment, you're making a paste.
The same before.
It's liquid paste.
It's liquid.
What if I'm making a thicker paste?
You cannot.
Oh no? It has to be liquidy?
Because you
Pourable?
you're adding
Pourable liquidy?
You're adding water over there.
No, but I add a little bit water.
No, it's more. It's more than a little.
It's not.
It's one spoon.
Above, liquid.
It's gonna be pourable?
Yeah.
Before I pour the hot water.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So then there's not even the question altogether. Last time I thought it's gonna be some thick. No, I don't do. I don't do that.
It's not gonna be strong.
It's gonna be pourable or no?
Yes.
Pourable.
If you're gonna take it like this, it's gonna fall.
Saying only
Full
sugar?
continuous flow.
No, maybe not.
So then it's
Depends how
not
much
pourable.
people do it, but
No, I'm talking about when it's gonna be. It's gonna fall, but it's not gonna fall continuously. It's gonna fall by chunks. Puck, 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 puck. So then it's not considered to be liquid. It's considered to be paste. What about lash on Shabbat? You see a guy like this on Shabbat, you have to rebuke him. Say, Johnny Chalfesh, Mechalel Shabbat.
No. It's
They have to rebuke him or no? Hi, Yaakov.
It's allowed because.
You have to rebuke him or no? So look what we learned over here. What Yosef says, although the mixture may initially form lumps and have a thick consistency, initially when you make that milk powder, before you're mixing it well, some parts could become like a, I said, congealed.
So we want to show you there's not gonna be.
It depends how much you put. Oh, he's Persian, he put a little
one
bit.
Spoon, one spoon. Because if you put too much, it becomes too liquid already.
Let's see. He's doing good, no? Bukhari have authority? Authorized? Shakol, Bil Shut. Morai v'rabotai.
Don't waste your time.
Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam שהכל נהיה בדברו. Oh, it is yeah, it's good. It's liquid.
liquid.
I told you, you put a lot. If you put a little bit, it's going to be also, then you put a lot. What do you put also? Milk? You put
So
water?
there's a lot of people, they put a lot of sugar. I put like no sugar, almost no sugar. So I do my style, no sugar.
Tough, בסדר.
It's not your style.
Yeah, could be, could be different.
So I make it patur for myself. That's it.
So for you, it's allowed. Now question, what is Bechor going to do tomorrow?
That's a different story.
he's not here yet.
Bechor is Bukharian style, not Persian style. What do we do with him? So will be allowed or no? So says Rav Ovadia here, even if it will have form initially some thick lumps, we should say like thick eda, it is allowed. Why? Because it's not suitable. Are you going to take it like that and eat it? No. Your intention is
Of course, it's espresso.
like this as is.
Yeah,
You're going to add nothing as is.
it's espresso.
Come on, man.
You going to eat like this?
Normal.
No, okay, I can also take paper into my mouth, but is it meant to be or no?
Yeah, espresso.
Look at you after Simon, what happened
It's
after
by
that?
espresso shots. What do you mean?
Shots.
Espresso
It's
shots.
a shot. It has to
So-
be more than that. This is not a
Okay, so I put right now just for
Not
bare
edible.
minimum.
It's not edible. People don't eat it like that.
normal.
I can shovel paper into my mouth also, but that's not meant to
You
eat.
can add for tiramisu cake, yes. but not eatable.
That's the espresso shot. That's what people drink it like.
Espresso shot is like a...
So, however it is, you made it very, very liquidy, so it is pourable, I saw. So then it's no problem. Okay, next. The chidush is even on the process, there's like a stage that it becomes a little bit thick. Alvar Yosef says it allows it because the end result, what you're going to use it for, the intention is to make it a drinkable liquid. Okay? Very good. Next.
So it doesn't matter if it is a paste.
Even if in between it turns into a little bit paste,
Because let's say it was a paste, it should be allowed because you're making it more.
your intention is to make it a pourable drink liquid. That's the end result. Number 2, in which kneading is the prohibition from Torah? Is it in which kneading the prohibition is from Torah? Is it specifically in kneading that would be suitable for baking?
You should say which kneading is from Torah. That's it. Why are you making it too many words?
Yeah. How should I shorten it?
Which kneading is
Yes,
from
Yefata.
Torah?
Jesse John.
Oh, juicy.
וואי וואי וואי, לרפואה שלמה, כל הכבוד. And he still made it to the RCU. וילכו מחיל אל חיל. לא, היה לו שיעור תורה, הוא לא ככה, אני מכיר אותו.
Which,
I opened it, man.
Okay?
which kneading is from Torah?
No.
Which
In
kneading?
which kneading is the prohibition from Torah? In which kneading, I don't know, maybe
What kind
David
of-
help me.
okay,
David is good in
Which
this.
type of
What
kneading?
what type
No,
of
David, do
kneading?
it.
Which type of kneading?
Which class of kneading or what
כאן,
type
בדיוק
of
just said this, או קודם, ביו.
אם אתה לוקח את הקפה עם שוגר,
Levi, you finished college or no?
Yeah.
כל הכבוד.
2 years ago.
Yeah? כל הכבוד.
שאלה של לש.
Yeah, here, what do you think? How should I rephrase it? Yaakov, you did the best, Yaakov. You did the best.
Yeah, you did it. Scared of it.
Didn't waste time over there. סלעה זו חודה נאדה.
דבר שני, הרב אמר שמותר, הרב עובדיה סובר מותר בגלל ש... למה זה היה מותר, הרב?
Professional.
למה זה היה מותר?
Because the end result, you don't intend to be a paste. Your end result is to turn into coffee, into drinkable. Something drinkable, לא זודה, lash doesn't apply. When does the prohibition of kneading rise to the level of Torah violation?
Meaning Doraita versus Darabana, right?
No. Let's see the answer.
הרב, יש פה קרפצ'ו תשובה או לא?
No. I asked, you know who I asked? You see this author of this Ora Halacha?
כן.
Is Gaon Batorah, Mamash Gaon. I found his contact. I asked him. He said, in my eyes, it is a problem. I told him, can you please provide sources? He told me there is no sources. I told him why.
Kasha.
I told him how come. I think in my eyes it should be allowed because the GPT says that there is 16 million Americans eating raw meat in America. 16 million. No, it's a big number.
Ask ChatGPT how many Jewish
The
eating raw
fish,
meat.
you don't need the Jewish. You need people if it's edible.
It's not raw.
The fish, you know how many people eat raw fish? 100 million people in America just testified. 100 million. No, it's 1/3. 1/3 of Americans. That's before Trump kicked half of them. Yeah. 300 million people in America. 100 million of them testify they eat raw fish. Bechor does not eat raw fish. He just looks at it.
So מה עם bottom line? תשובה.
So that's why
זה שאלה מצווה של היום. זה של דור של היום. זה לא של דור פעם.
this rabbi is from our generation. And he's very knowledgeable, very big chacham. And he told me, in my eyes, it's a problem. I told him how people eat. So he said, listen to what he said. People eat in a specific way. They're not going to eat it like you eat tomato.
It's true.
It's not eat like you eating, I don't know, some other carrots. You have to eat it in a specific slice with specific spices.
What I understood that if I'm gonna bring it to you today, raw meat, I'm gonna tell you, eat raw meat, you're not gonna eat. Because, no, what is this? But if I'm putting over there sauce and all this stuff, and I put on the table, you ask him, what is this? Carpaccio with the sauce, with this. You eating, oh, it's good. What is this? Raw meat. Oh, I eat raw meat? this is a question for his eyes that they're gonna say.
I saw online also videos,
But
people
bottom line,
eat
the
raw
people-
meat, mamash raw meat.
But bottom line, people eating raw meat.
Steaks, это, ribs.
The restaurants.
Неплохо было с них смотреть.
Кудрав, у меня большая просьба.
Yes, Бехор. In English.
English, Работай, мало времени осталось до прихода Мошьяха. Не перебивайте уроки, вы продолжайте свою историю. Все вопросы, которые у нас есть, записывайте. Закончим, что я на все вопросы буду отвечать.
Why? Rabotai, to hear that from Bechor, please turn the camera to Bechor. Bechor, after you said that, I'm sure there's not enough time for Mashiach talking. He has to come right now. If you said it,
I'm gonna tell you something. When I pray,
You pray for much for Bechor?
Etzemach David, I'm saying Etzemach David.
9:30 and we haven't even done
The
one line.
picture.
Of Bechor.
Some small people like a ginger, I saying is David Amelech, and then write to him who is staying over there.
Bechor Yitzchakov.
Couple times already happened to me.
Guys, it's 9:30. Half of the shiur is gone, and we only did one line over here.
So, back to
All
us.
jokes, all jokes.
Chagai John.
You
Chagai.
can't learn or listen to jokes.
Jesse, Chagai, Bechor asked, please, Rabotai, anybody that has questions, I'll translate what he said in Russian. Write them down. At the end of the shiur, we're going to dedicate 5 minutes. If you have questions on the material we learned.
Yes.
Don't bring material from your synagogue, or from another synagogue, or from another synagogue, or your, what do you do when you pray? What do you do when you are in the restroom? What do you do whenever you're after the restroom? That's not interesting. We want to be sticking to the topic. Levanta, Bechor, better. Hagai, Jesse, you understood. I said it in English to everybody. Levi, ata evanta. Even our Persian friend understood.
No, it's just joke.
Yalla,
over
so,
here.
tzicha. Let's go. In addition to the above written,
Rabbi Shlomo Zalman wrote that perhaps kneading from the Torah is specifically a kneading that would be suitable for baking, unlike kneading to eat immediately, which is merely food preparation and not kneading.
you hear?
We're talking about the type of kneading.
Yeah. So
What type
not-
of kneading is
what type of kneading? Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Write it, please. What type of kneading is asur from Torah? Says Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, kneading, mixing together, right, and make a paste. Is only whenever you need.
Right now.
That when the problem is when you are making the paste, tester, in order to bake it. But if you are mixing things not with intentions of baking it, rather for eating it now, even if it's gonna be a paste, it's no problem because you're not gonna bake it.
Rav Zalman Auerbach.
Rav Shalom Zalman Auerbach, he explains that Chachamim does not allow us, based on the Torah obviously, kneading for purpose of baking. Very good. Next.
Is it of Islam?
Is it?
Rav Vadia brings it.
But the rabbis mentioned that's the right. This the Rabbanan would be a problem.
If so, it's
It doesn't say it's 100%. It says perhaps.
So it could be even the right.
Yeah, it could be even though right.
Right.
But Ravadi Yosef wants to say that we can add his doubt to allow the mixing that we are doing for purpose of consumption without baking. Got it?
So what is bottom line?
Bottom line, a person is allowed to take the powder and add liquid and make milk out of milk powder. On Shabbat, you're allowed to take milk powder, add water,
So this coffee is okay.
mix it in order to make milk. And by the way, according to Ravadi Yosef, milk powder doesn't have to be Chalav Israel. That was a side point for you. Anytime you buy chocolate that says OUD, you don't have to worry about that. If it's the reason is because it says milk, in the ingredients milk powder. Ravadi Yosef says it's okay. You can be lenient without it. If you want to be, that's definitely okay. If you want to be strict, kol hakavod, but that's not halakha. Chocolate or any other products that has milk powder is no problem of Chalav Israel. You can have it even if it says OUD, even if you keep Chalav Israel. That's the chidush.
So can I ask you a question? Why did
No. Bechor today gave us a rule. Last 5 minutes we're going to dedicate for questions.
Write down the.
Down your questions.
Write it down, yeah. 281. Very good, Bechor, I love it. But you have to be on top of them.
Yes.
You on top of them. I give you, come tomorrow with a stick, seriously.
Yeah, come on, bring it.
Rabbi,
Be'emet.
by these things, so all the
I bring
pieces
stick
allowed.
right now.
No, right now you're going to go.
Rabbi, so by these things, you're allowed everything to do.
By
All
the,
the
he didn't
taste.
say it's allowed, Hagai. He said,
By his mind, whatever he says.
he said perhaps. Что-то perhaps.
Perhaps, okay.
Может быть. Maybe.
But it's not only the dairy. I mean, there's not only milk. It's not
What are you
only
talking
dry
about? The
milk.
Halav Israel point?
No, I'm talking about the paste. So by doing the liquid or any paste that you're not baking,
Yeah.
so
Now,
allowed.
now Auerbach says maybe it is allowed.
Okay, maybe.
So you're taking a risk. But if it is, Avad
Yosef
Yosef says that we can add his maybe to allow the milk powder to make milk. Milk is liquidy. He says another reason why it'll be allowed because I don't bake it. That's another
we can be
reason.
We can be
Ladies
lenient.
and gentlemen,
We
welcome.
can be lenient on his dal, on Zal Auerbach. Not
It's
about
a-
the milk. I'm
course not.
talking about other paste.
Of course not.
Mayonnaise. and all
You
that.
can add his opinion to be more lenient, but don't rely only on his opinion.
But I can be reliant.
Not only, you can add that into equation. Got it? Very good. Next, 281.
That's it.
Bottom line, אתה יכול לעשות.
Палку принеси, я серьезно говорю. Я серьезно говорю.
You can make
Не хихихаха говорю.
telling you not only
Машины, завези машину тоже. Okay, next. Howard, read 281.
Is it permitted to make jelly on Shabbat?
Oh,
Answer. It is permitted to make jelly since after mixing it, it remains somewhat fluid and this does not constitute kneading.
I don't know what jelly is fluid.
Jelly.
ג'לטין. אפשר לעשות ג'לטין?
No.
Huh?
If it is solid, it's a problem.
It's gonna be solid.
Problem.
You're taking liquid, you're doing solid.
Problem.
Why? You're saying love.
It says only if it's remains somewhat liquid. No, I'll explain to you.
before it becomes solid.
Yeah,
Let me explain. Can I explain?
yeah.
Whenever you take the powder, you mix with liquid. When you're done, right now you're done.
It's liquid.
It's liquid.
Yes.
Then you put it in the fridge.
The same thing
The
with the
fridge
Ice cream.
solidifies
The
it.
same thing with the ice cream. You're
Nachon.
taking the milk, you're putting it in the refrigerator.
You
You're
are
not doing
correct.
anything,
So
you do
you'd
it
be
food.
allowed
So maybe you should write that. It is permitted to make a jelly since after mixing it, immediately, I don't know the word immediately, after mixing it, immediately after mixing it. Since immediately after mixing
קרישה
it,
היא- the קרישה היא לא נעשית...
right away put it by himself.
Remains liquidy.
אבל the קרישה היא לא נעשית ישר.
You are correct, yeah.
has to be in the refrigerator.
Solid
So it's okay.
refrigeration.
Yeah,
But
good.
this
You wanna
כוונה
add
is
the-
gelatin,
does
אבל
not
it's
add
not כוונה
constant
like ice cream.
Huh?
Do you want to add the last sentence?
No, you don't need.
מה אתה אומר?
I only listen to questions last 5 minutes, 9:55. Yeah, tak Buji. That's it, Baruch Hashem. Hashem answered my prayers. You said it? Wow. Number 2.
Is it permitted to make wine mulled for drinking?
מה הוא אומר גם כן פה point,
You're not allowed to speak until 9:55. That's Bechor, new ruling.
No, but we cannot go on the rules like that because the subjects that we have to comment on.
It's a comment at 9:55. I'm not saying don't comment.
It's not
Recording
make
here is we cannot.
It's not a shiur drasha. It's halachot. In halachot you have to comment.
You cannot, Jesse John. Up to 9:55.
Сомневается, думаешь, идти.
If it's in the regarding of the subject of the shiur, you need to comment.
אוי, הוא צודק.
But if you comment, then he comments and becomes bazaar.
But it's not
but
bizarre,
I will
but
comment.
if you have something to ask, if I'm not going to ask you now, then the next subject are going to be, it's not going to be relevant anymore.
How you gonna learn your
How you gonna
Gemara
learn?
1 hour without the question?
Write it
It's not
down.
action, I'm sorry.
That's
This is a
right.
shiur Torah of halachot. Halachot.
Write it down, Jesse John. Write it down.
No writing, no.
But he's saying good point also.
Chaim of Kam,
You
Jonah.
take it out from the refrigerator, it can't be liquid.
Let's see. We didn't finish it. You have already questioned. Let us finish.
Reminder on
question is saying-
on the question, please, guys. Is it permitted to make wine mulled for drinking? Answer. In addition to the above written answer number 1, just as it is permitted to make wine mulled for drinking on Shabbat, which is wine with honey and peppers, and only the cold in the refrigerator solidifies it, which is indirect and not a direct act of the person. Same thing.
Yeah. So if a person, I'm right now explaining. Let me speak. I know you came from Israel. Padashji. If a person wants to mix wine with honey and peppers and put it in the refrigerator,
Which pepper? Black pepper?
whatever pepper you want,
Red pepper.
whatever you want, put it inside the refrigerator.
Okay.
Whatever, I'm saying whatever, Mehmet, whatever.
Okay,
Put it inside the refrigerator and the refrigerator will solidify that liquid, that mixture. Allowed or no? Says Ravadia allowed. And that's what Shulchan Aruch writes in Siman 321 in Seif 17. Then Ravad Yosef says nowadays people don't make this honey and wine and peppers. Nobody does that. Even Bechor doesn't do it. But people do jelly. So he says we can learn from the case of the Shulchan Aruch that the Kol did that, not me. That is not considered to be lash, even though the end result is thick. It's not parable. You're not going to pour it.
Also,
Nevertheless,
right. What he's saying also, the end of the jelly, if you're taking out from the refrigerator, it's
going to melt. Very, very good. Next, number 3.
Does Maran have a prohibition of muktzah? Answer: Maran does not hold of a prohibition.
No, muktzah, I don't like that. It says should have been nolad. It's a mistake.
Of nolad, yeah.
Why
Rabbi Shai, control yourself. Hold your horses. Of nolad. Okay. Tzicha.
Maran does not hold of a prohibition of nolad, and even for the Sefer HaTerumah that prohibited nolad, it is only from solid to liquid, but from liquid to solid is permitted.
Is permitted. You hear? Bechor, you remember? Can I take? Listen to carefully. Don't jump. Can I take snow right now? Right? Or Shabbat? I take snow on Shabbat. I go like this, and I turn it into water. Allowed or no?
In a cup, no.
No. Right now, I came over here. On the way, I ate apelsin, whatever, orange, and my hands were sticky. As I come out, one guy said, "Oh, Rabbi, what? You here? Yeah, what? I know him for many years before, from the other city. Hey, I moved over here now." I said, "Oh, good." As I talking to him, I take from his car snow. That was the fault. I take and I wash my hands to remove the stickiness with that snow. On Shabbat, if it happened, allowed or no?
Yeah.
Yes, allowed.
Yeah.
Not allowed.
Why?
You're not sick.
Because whenever I'm going like this, I'm turning the solid snow into liquid. Not allowed. It's in my favor. It's my kavanah. I want to wash the stickiness. The snow is not going to take away the
А если
stickiness.
просто снег взял и так сделал и бросил?
Problem. Because you are melting it, right? So if so,
You cannot play with snow on Shabbat?
no, you see, playing on snow, you're not intending to melt it. But here I'm intending to wash. The washing has to be done only whenever I'm
When you throw
washing it.
The bowl it becomes like
It's not an intention. Again, it's not an intention.
The snowflakes
Ой, тенчиш, не было, чтобы помыть.
No, sir. No, but when you're gonna go like that and the snow's gonna fall, it didn't melt. You're going this, you're melting it.
פה יש לך כוונה לעשות.
So the point when you want to say Rabotai is this. Listen to this. Before this not allowed, right? That's Gemara said. Pomnitzi, not allowed. Comes Ravadia says, listen. What's the reason this not allowed? Haimo, why I cannot take right now snow on Shabbat, go like this and make it to water? What's the problem?
You squeeze.
Gemara didn't say a reason. Gemara said not allowed, period. Comes the Rashba, says, you know why it's not allowed? Because if you're going to allow people that, people are going to take grapes on Shabbat and do also the same way. This solid into liquid, this solid into liquid. If this is allowed, that's also allowed. For that reason, it's not allowed. That's Rashba's explanation. Sefer HaTruma is another Rishonim. He says, no, that's not the reason. The reason because you took solid and you turned it into liquid. You changed the status of matter of status. How do you call it? Matter of status? State of matter. You change the state of matter. Good. Comes Ravadia. According to this opinion, if I take solid, I'm not allowed to turn it into liquid. If I take liquid, am I allowed to turn it into solid?
Yes.
Based on the Rashba explanation that the whole problem is squeezing doesn't go the other way. It doesn't turn liquid into solid.
That's what we're doing with the
But based on the other reason, Sefer HaTruma, you're turning liquid into solid. So you're changing the state of matter. So is it allowed or no?
Yes.
Says Ravadia, even according to Sefer HaTruma, that's changing state of matter is not allowed. That's only from solid to liquid. But from liquid to solid is no problem.
Why would it be different? Why would it be different?
He doesn't explain why. He just says that
Tell you
Sefer
why it's
HaTruma,
different, Rabbi.
tell us.
Because this is you doing with your hands, but we're taking water into the freezer.
That's another reason. That's the indirect one. That's another reason.
Yeah,
Okay, number 4, and with this we finish for today.
Is there a reason to prohibit making jelly on Shabbat due to building?
Oh, what about Boneh Bechor?
you're not bonnet
Why not?
because it's liquid. You're putting inside the refrigerator. You're doing by himself. What you bone over there? You're doing liquid.
Because you're meant to eat it. You're not.
Okay, very good. You guys giving good answers. Let's see what you wrote.
And there is no issue of building since it is inferior to a temporary structure as it melts and does not last.
Got it? If you remember what is building, we said how many days he has to last for building? At least 7 days. Ayat jelly, how many days are you going to keep it for? A few hours, not even 1 day. If you're doing it on Shabbat, you're going to serve it on Shabbat. You're not doing this Shabbat for next Shabbat. You're not allowed. It's preparation. So if you made it on Shabbat, it's for sure going to be eaten on Shabbat because otherwise you're not allowed to prepare it.
Food not gonna stay.
And the food is not going to stay. Your intention is not to keep it for 7 days. Therefore, the laws of boneh, building, does not apply to that also. Got it? So here we have the baker over here. If a person is going to make baking right now, you want to make that thing on Shabbat. Allowed or no? Jelly you want to make on Shabbat. Allowed or no? You take a powder, you add the liquid on Shabbat. Allowed or no? Allowed.
Rabbi, you're not boneh in the beginning, Rabbi.
Why? Because there is no problem of building. Because it's not going to last for 7 days. That food is going to be served within 7 days. Is going to be finished.
Rabbi, how is it?
Let me finish, Jonah. I'm not finished. Second thing is there is no problem of lash kneading it because whenever you're done mixing the mixture with the liquid, it's still liquidy. And the laws of lash kneading is only whenever the final result is solid. Here's final result is liquid. You're going to put it afterwards in the refrigerator, and the refrigerator is going to turn it into solid, not you. So that's why second reason there is no problem of lash. What about the problem of changing the state of matter? It was liquid, you turn into solid. Answer is
It's allowed.
it's no problem because it's liquid to solid. The only problem that's changing state of matter is solid to liquid. Here's liquid to solid, and therefore it's no problem. However you're going to look at it, Rabbi Yosef solved all the problems. You see, before one jelly, 3 violations could be done. One jelly, chikadama. No electricity involved, no cooking involved. Maybe boneh, maybe lash, maybe no lash. So many questions coming up. That's I told you last time. It's very important. You're coming over here for a serious class. No joking class. Very important because there's so many details that a person can lose it. And it's very important that we are doing it very good.
By you saying that you cannot turn it